Okay guys, I think today is probably a good time for me to go ahead and do a quick video just talking about learning from mistakes as far as both training and technology and even life in general all over. Prime example would be the video that I'll be posting later on today from last night's BDPA's meeting on Agile development. As you can tell, the video quality is crystal clear. The first third of the video, unfortunately, due to issues I had last night, camera battery died on me. I had to resort to using my iPhone for the last 2/3 of the meeting. Unfortunately, I had the camera pointed the wrong direction. In other words, instead of it coming out at a nice wide angle, I had it coming out narrow like that. Hence, that part of the video is going to be jacked up. But I am also giving you guys an MP3 audio file of it, and the slides from that presentation actually will be available on the site as well, or actually on BDPA's site later on. So that's one way we pretty much were able to mitigate that little mishap. But yeah, just because you mess up doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You can always make amends and learn from mistakes. So from now on, like I'm doing with this video, I'm holding the camera the long way so that it records everything like it's supposed to record it. And it basically is the same way if you go into training, because here's the thing. One thing I learned the hard way was a few weeks ago, of all places, during a hot yoga class, I ended up screwing up my back by trying to do a freaking crazy airplane pose with my leg over my arm, some crazy stuff like that. Turns out my body was not meant to do that, and unfortunately, being a hot yoga class, I couldn't tell because it was so hot, my body couldn't tell the difference. Case in point, for 2 days, I could barely walk, had to go super light on legs for a week, finally to go back to squatting and deadlift while I normally squat and deadlift about a week ago, and that taught me a hard lesson, like, yeah, don't try to do any crazy new poses in those hot yoga classes, and don't try to do certain poses at all. Because even later on, that same airplane pose, I found out, like, yeah, the minute I tried to go into it in a normal conditioned room, I felt my sciatic nerve go off, and at that point I was like, nope, not doing it, leaving that pose alone. And this is with a trainer that's been doing yoga for years, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going in that the same way the instructor said to go into it, and I'm still having problems. It's not made for my body. So, lesson learned. Another case in point I learned years ago in training. Don't let your ego get the best of you also with cross cable flies, especially at the end of your workout after your delts and pectoral muscles are already dang near completely fatigued out, because I decided to let the ego get the best of me one day back in 2011, put as much weight on there as possible. Next thing I knew, on the last set, and a pop in the shoulder, like boom, all the way out like that. That was into me lifting heavy for a good 3 months. Had to resort to using dumbbells for the following 3 months, and can finally do flat bench 6 months later. And it took me another 2 months to get my bench back up to what it was before I originally got injured. So once again, saying right, basically 2 lessons right there. Learn from your mistakes, and definitely don't let your ego get the best of you. And actually in technology, people are telling me like, well, you know, you need to do this, you need to do this, and blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the thing. Not everything works for everybody. Just like with fitness, not everything works for everybody. And yes, you're going to make mistakes in the fitness world, like you will make mistakes in the technology world. Just learn from your mistakes and move on. Because if I constantly cried about every little problem I ran into while trying to debug software, I'd never get anything compiled, I'd never have any websites built, YouTube channel will have no content at all, no technical content, probably no fitness content either. No games will have ever been developed by myself. I wouldn't be teaching right now, and yeah, I'd just be going through an infinite loop of doing the same thing over and over again and just being miserable. So guys, you make a mistake, get over it, learn from it, and move on. Because sometimes certain things happen for a reason, because hey, if it's a teachable lesson and nothing was hurt, no harm, no foul. Alright guys, I think I ran enough for this video. Talk to you guys later. Just get my 2 cents. Peace out.